Hi everybody, I'm Lindsay, founder of LindenFern, and I just wanted to pop in and say hello and kind of introduce myself to those of you who don't know me personally, and also just kind of walk through a few things that I had already written about in the first blog post and just kind of talk to you all about some things to get started on your zero waste sustainable lifestyle journey, and just to get the conversation started and open the doors to more conversation and more questions and more content. So if you haven't seen it already, the first blog post was called Progress Over Perfection. It was kind of twofold. One being that this concept has been on my mind, the concept of LindenFern.com has been on my mind for a long time, and it's been a passion of mine. Sustainability and like zero waste living has just been a passion of mine for basically my whole life, for anyone who has known me that long. Hey mom and dad, Giles, what's up? But it's just a reality for me, and the fact is I thought about this idea, but I didn't really know how to execute it, and I began to think that maybe I wasn't the right person or voice, or didn't have the right knowledge to do what I wanted to do, and so I kept letting the insecurities win over, and instead of just following your gut, you know, that feeling that's leading you to do all these things and you don't listen to it. But that's a whole other conversation that I don't need to go down. But basically, just this blog post was kind of like, Lindsay, if you really care about these things, you need to find a way to make it happen, and it doesn't have to be perfect right now. It just needs to get started. And so that's what this blog was kind of the incentive to get my website up, my logo designed, my concept finalized, and just the first bit of content out into the world, while also simultaneously, as I mentioned, twofold, also kind of hopefully inspiring people who have been thinking or hearing about zero waste and thinking about how they can be more sustainable in their own lives. Just a few steps to get started and not overwhelm you, and not try to strive for perfection, rather like just go for it, you know, make small changes, do it imperfectly, and learn as you go. So yeah, I just want also to just say really fast that like I'm overwhelmed by the response I've been getting by people who know and love me and support me, and I'm feeling really like overwhelming amounts of gratitude for those people, but also strangers and new people I've brought into my life in this past month who are so supportive and who are sharing their stories and so excited for the next little bit of content that I'm going to put out. And it's really motivating and inspiring, and I'm just so thankful. So thank you all for reaching out and, you know, cheering me on, and I really appreciate it. It's not going unnoticed. It's really feeling good. So yeah, so let's just start. Some things that I wrote about, and you can reference back to the blog post itself, but I just want to reiterate the most important thing is to just start. You can start small, you can start with 1-2 things, you can start with one topic or one area in your life. I don't want to come in and say you need to uproot everything you've ever known and everything you've ever done and change your world completely, because I just don't think that that's rational, nor is it healthy. I don't want you to be uncomfortable trying to completely change your whole life, but I think that it is important to start, and just kind of finding where you want to start. Some ideas that I have for you, and I did make a list, because I've started and stopped this vlog so many times that at this point I again just need to talk myself down and say, progress over perfection, Lindsay. Just get it out there. Who cares? You're only gonna improve. So here we are. Just start. Just start small, but don't play small. Hey. I literally wrote that. It's fine. You don't have to change your whole life. Here are some small steps to start. Don't not start because you think you can't do it perfectly. I think I've already said this a few times in this conversation, but it's just the biggest thing I can say. We don't need a handful of people doing zero waste perfectly. We need millions of you and me and all of us doing it imperfectly. And so just like knowing that, just do your part. Just do your small little part. Do what you can. No big deal. There are 3 R's, of course. You've been growing up hearing reduce, reuse, recycle, but I just want to make sure that everyone feels the emphasis on reduce and reuse. Recycling is wonderful, but I do think it's a band-aid on a gaping wound. And it's not going to fix the problem if the only thing we do is recycle. We need to reduce our consumption. So reduce what you buy and then reuse what you already have. Those are going to be the big all caps R's. And then recycle will be the last one in the game of the R's. Game of R's, Game of Thrones. I don't know what I'm saying, but just to go along with that, reuse, use what you have, and if you don't have what you need, go look at secondhand stores before you buy new. There is a huge movement happening on the internet, and that's awesome. Social media can be such a powerful and positive tool when used right. However, there is a lot of things that are being used wrong, in my opinion, and that's conscious consumerism is a wonderful thing. I think we can vote with our dollar. I think that there are things in the world that are far better off because we know that they're not wrapped in plastic or super one use, single use. You know, those are things that are such a positive change from this, but there's also like pristine, perfectly put together zero waste kits and homes that are like blogger level, and that kind of makes us feel like we just have to throw everything that we have out and start over by buying all these new things. And I just want to make sure that everyone is aware that that's bad. That's the opposite of what we want to do. So just being able to look at what we already have, like if that's your little, let me go grab one. When you're at restaurants and they give you to-go food and these, that's awesome because they're amazing to reuse over and over and over and over, and they are free. So not only are you saving yourself money, but you're saving the earth by not throwing those out or throwing those out and buying new things. So that's all I gotta say about that. It doesn't have to be fancy to be zero waste, and it could be really cute and fun to go secondhand shopping and finding like really unique, one-of-a-kind treasures on your secondhand hunt. So that's really fun. Speaking of Instagram though, I did just post a blog a couple nights ago with a whole list of really awesome brands and influencers and people who are just a whole variety, like not just one type of person. Like this list has a whole handful of people and brands and stuff who are doing all sorts of different things for the zero waste movement, and I think they're really great, and I think that they'd be really motivating. At least they are for me, and I really like having them on my feed because they do motivate me and they teach me new things that I wouldn't know before. And isn't that all what life is? Just constantly learning. So I recommend going and giving the blog I just posted a little look-see, and then finding those people in that list that you want to also follow, because you know, why not? Doesn't hurt. Spreading that love around, you know. Something that isn't on the list originally, but came to me from a story, from a conversation that I had with a new friend of mine. She was in line at a coffee shop, and a person in front of her was getting the same thing, and hers was given to her in a to-go mug and a bag with the food, you know, boxed up to go. And the other woman had like a cup, a mug for sitting there, and a plate and a fork. And she was like, how did you get that? And the one was like, oh, I just asked for here. And she was like, such a simple thing that we could all do if we know that we're staying, or we know we have 10 minutes to spare. Get it for here. If we know that we forgot the reusable mug that we've been really diligently bringing every day, well, then that's fine. You just have to slow down a little bit in your day and drink the coffee in the shop, you know, and just recognizing those moments when you can easily do the zero waste option and asking for here instead of running out the door. And I'm working on a series of, I'm really excited about these, of blog posts that are like how going green is beneficial for you. Like, we all know that going green is beneficial for the environment and the earth, and that's hopefully the biggest motivating factor for most people. But the fact is, we're selfish, and we also need to have the facts, and that's okay. And we also aren't set up in a society that's like taught us to be that way. But anyways, I'm doing a series of like rewards, things that are better for us, like what happens when we go green for our body, for our mental health, for our finances, for our home and business, for just any number of things. And I'm really excited about that. So that's what I'm working on right now. Stay tuned, sign up for my email campaigns to be notified. Hey, okay, shameless plug. They're gonna be cute though, so at least I think so. So ask for here, simple. Or form the habit of bringing your own bag and mug and cutlery set or straw or whatever you know that you use a lot of, especially when you're on the go. Just making that a habit to like have it in your purse or like in your coat pocket, or just, you know, finding a simple way of incorporating it into your day-to-day. I'm like losing light really quickly. The sun is setting. It's really beautiful. Maybe you want to see it. Maybe you can't see it. Oh, there it is. Yay. Okay. Where was I? Lastly, and I feel like this is one of the more important notes that I'd like to make, find an accountability community, like a conscious accountability community, like the to make it fun and to hold yourselves accountable and to do things together, like pick up trash in the park or go secondhand shopping, because that's always more fun for me when I'm with my friends Megan or Madison or Rachel or anybody really who wants to go secondhand shopping with me. Like, shout out. It's always more fun with friends. But what else? You could do like a zero waste meal, or when it gets nicer outside, like plastic free picnics. And maybe you've got some coworkers that live nearby you and you could carpool together, or, you know, if it gets nice enough to go on a bike ride or take the bus and like have like a fun little extravaganza. Yeah, so just finding that community. And if you don't feel like you have that community, like reach out to me, because I would love to be that community for you, or help you stay accountable in any way. Like, just let me know. And then I have a little challenge for you all. Take away from this video, this vlog. I want to challenge you to if you're not making changes right away, right, you don't need to like up and leave this movie or this video and say, oh my gosh, it's time for me to completely uproot my life and start fresh and just go, go, go. What I want you to do is just for the next week or so, just like be aware of the waste. If that, like, you know, when you're in line and you're asking for here, or you're in the grocery store and you see things that are like single plastic wrapped inside of another plastic inside, you know. What else? Just being a little bit more in tune to the waste. So auditing the waste around you, but also auditing and noticing the waste in your own life and in your own home, and kind of either mentally taking notes, or if you can remember to write them down, like notice what you are consuming, and then just make 3 small changes. So add the reusable mug to your work bag. Ask for here and stay for coffee instead of getting to go. You take a bus or carpool to work. You eat more seasonal local food. Just, there's so many things, right? Like 3 really small things. Don't like totally change your whole habit. Just a few things, right? So notice the world around you, notice your waste and how everyone else around you is acting and what waste is around you. Make 3 simple changes to your own lifestyle once you kind of have been aware of it and taken it and digested it, and then send me a message. You don't have to do that last part, but it would be really awesome if you reached out and told me what you decided and what you implemented. I think that would be really neat, and I can shout you out and give you some love, and I think that'd be really great. More than anything, just lead by example. It's amazing what human influence can achieve if you start bringing your mug to the coffee shop, or start asking for here, or start taking the bus, or start, you know, bringing your own bags to the grocery store, doing all these small things. Someone will be around you and someone will be like, why are you doing that? Or just take mental note of it and be like, oh, I gotta remember to bring my mug tomorrow. You know, just leading by example and knowing that your influence, even if it's unnoticed, like your influence is really big and really important, and you are really important. And I am so thankful for like you spending the time tuning in today and listening to me babble on. And please let me know if you have any feedback or ideas or questions or anything at all. Email me at care, C-A-R-E, like I care about you and the earth. Hey, I've said hey a lot today. It's my new like tick. At LindenFern.com. So care@LindenFern.com, and that'll reach me. And I'll get back to you, and I really appreciate you all. Thank you for starting and making the changes, and I look forward to more conversations. Also, this top was from a free giveaway pile in New Zealand on the farm that I was woofing at. So it's lasted like 7 years and I still love it. These were a gift, and that's all great. Anyways, secondhand can be stylish. That's what I'm saying. What do you think? All right. Until next time.